Ramarly did not run
from the NYPD.
From the NYPD.
Fact number 4.
Fact number 4.
The NYPD did not have a warrant
to
enter Ramarly's home. Fact number 5.
Fact number 5.
The NYPD shot Ramarly in front of his grandmother and 6-year-old brother. Fact number 6.
Fact number 6.
The NYPD interrogated Ramarly's grandmother for 7 hours. After she witnessed his murder. Fact number 7. The NYPD denied Ramarly's grandmother access to her lawyer during her interrogation. Fact number 8. The NYPD assaulted Ramarly's mother at the precinct after killing her son. That ain't right.
Thank you all for coming today. The true facts in this case is that the district attorneys failed the Grahn family. The city's administration failed the Grahn family. And now, what the Grahn family is asking for, what we're all here asking for today, is that all officers be fired. And we're not just talking about all the officers responsible for the killing of Ramarly Grahn. We're talking about all the officers that assaulted Ramarly's mother at the precinct. We're talking about the officers that denied Ramarly's grandmother access to her attorney. And we're talking about all the officers that participated in the cover-up in this case. And what we mean by that is all the officers who lied. We want all their badges. They should all be off the force.
Right.
None of them should be able to continue to be on the force while an innocent, unarmed, young black man is now dead. 4 years later. It's been over 4 years, and this family has just been disrespected by this city. This has to stop now. I'm now going to call up Constance Malcolm, mother of Ramarly Grahn.
Hello everyone. Again, my name is Constance Malcolm. I'm here today standing in front of City Hall right now, asking Mayor de Blasio to fire all these officers that was involved in my son killing and also the cover-up of my son killing. These officers should not be running around with a gun or a badge. They're reckless. They murdered my son in front of my 6-year-old son and also his grandmother. They endanger them. What about them? Nobody seems to want to talk about what happened to them. Yes, Ramarly is dead, but there was also 2 more people in that house that was violated. Commissioner Bratton told council member that pre-Baharo office told him to hold off on internal affair investigation with the police officer. We now knew that that was a big lie that Bratton told. So this is coming from the police commissioner that's on top. What do you expect from his officer? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. We are tired. It's 4 years, and I still don't have an answer to why my son is dead. All I know, an officer has to say, I thought, and that's to get out of jail free card for them. We can't allow that anymore. This officer had 4 minutes, 4 long minutes outside my house to call for backup. There was a sergeant there that should have knew better also.
So true.
And he didn't do anything. him and Richard Hayes was the one that went through the back door and put a gun to the tenant on the first floor and ran through their apartment. We can't have these people on the force. I asked de Blasio for a meeting, and I still haven't got a response from him yet. So let me find out you're not going to do your job, because I figure you're going to be a one-term mayor.
Right.
Go ahead, girl.
We're going to make sure you don't have another term in this country, this city, if you don't do something. It's not about pressure. It's about doing the right thing.
That's right.
It's about doing the right thing. This officer doesn't deserve to be on the force. It's about serve and protect, and did not protect my son. They murdered my son. And I'm going to continue to fight till we have these badges. They need to be off the street.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
Justice for
Ramarly Grahn!
Justice for
Ramarly Grahn!
Our next speaker will be Council Member Andy King.
To Sister Constance, Brother Frank, I know the road has been long and I know you're tired, but look at the support that you have here. Not just those of us who are on the steps, but throughout the city of New York who know that justice has not been served correctly. To everyone that's hearing us all today, you heard the story, you know the story. You know, I watch a lot of Law and Order, and I know watching television, some of this stuff is reality. And the actions of Officer Hayes to try to kick into a door, can't get in, and then run around and not get the proper supervision, that means someone did something wrong. He committed the act. The supervisor that was on at the present, they all must be held accountable. See, it's easy to talk about, you know, no one knows what happens because the story's only being told by that one officer. They said dead men tell no tales. That's what the mob do. They wipe everybody out so nobody can tell a story later on. Well, that's what Officer Hayes did. He wiped out Ramarly Grahn so no one could tell the real story. Last week, I presented a piece of legislation calling on a 3/5 clause conversation because Black Lives Matter. The Constitution goes back to refer to African American as 3/5 of a human being. This is the conversation that we're having because between policy and how we get treated by law enforcement clearly depicts that the African American is not considered a whole person. Let that been a black officer knock down the house of a white person and shoot a white teenager. Right. See what kind of conversation we be having today.
That's right.
Somebody would have been thrown under the jail and their sisters and brothers been rolled over 3 or 4 times by the bus. So let's have a real conversation. Mr. Mayor, Commissioner, you sat before the BLAC and gave us a conversation to find out that the accuracy of that conversation is dismal in our hearts. But now you have a responsibility to do the right thing. The ball is in your court. You cannot blame the DOJ for not doing something, because trust me, if we don't do the right thing as elected officials in City Hall, we get booted out of our jobs. Right. Richard Hayes didn't do the right thing by his job, and his decision cost the life of one of our children. That means what? It's time for you to go, and everyone responsible at the time of his death should go too. Commissioner, it's time to fire Richard Hayes. Thank you.
Right. Next speaker is Council Member Ines Barron and Assemblyman Charles Barron.
All right now.
We're here because justice has not been served. Justice has not had an opportunity to rear its face and to say that this was a crime that has been committed. We know that Preet Bharara has the attorney has the ability to bring charges. We are horrified that he has not found it within his jurisdiction to bring charges on this federal level. We're going to continue to say that all of our Black lives matter, and we're going to continue to raise that question. We're going to continue to say that we're going to stand with this family. We're going to continue to say that this issue will not go away. We're calling on the mayor to take action, and we know that this police commissioner, Bratton, does not have regard for Black lives. Anyone who in this day and age can stand and say they stand with the Moynihan report, which talks about Black families being dysfunctional and fractured, should not be in charge of this police department. We came earlier on when he was first appointed and said that he should not be here. Some of us said that he has no regard for our community. This is further demonstration of that position, and we're going to stand with this family and call not just for the officers involved in this horrific crime and those who are covering it up to be discharged. We're going to, some of us, call that Bratton also leave.
All right. All right.
Warning, warning,
Come on with it.
when peaceful methods for justice are ignored, violence is inevitable.
Hello. Come on with it.
And don't blame me, the social forecaster, for forecasting an explosion, just as you won't blame the weather folk for forecasting a storm. We marched 50,000 strong down Madison Avenue when Amadou Diallo was killed with 41 bullets. No justice. 41 wasn't enough. They needed 50 bullets for Sean Bell, and his mother is here. Give her a big hand clap for being with us, as always. 50 bullets. Sticks up our rectum, Abner Louima. Anthony Stansbury, Timothy Stansbury shot in the stairwell. Akai Gurley murdered. We're not gonna take this lying down. Don't blame me when people start saying an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and a life for a life.
Come on with it.
Don't say it's me and my rhetoric.
That's right.
Say it's the oppression of black people, and you continually to ignore it. We have press conferences, we have rallies, we have brilliant lawyers. If Preet Bharara can take these corrupt politicians down, then take the corrupt police down. And don't tell us it didn't reach the civil rights statute. Since when breaking and entering
That's right.
is not a violation of someone's civil rights? You can't break in someone's home and then say it didn't reach that statute. So we say no justice, no peace.
Thank you. Next speaker we're bringing up is Valerie Bell, the mother of Sean Bell.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to stand with Constance and Frank to ask, but we need to tell the mayor and the commissioner to fire these officers because that was uncalled for. What do you understand or not understand about the meaning of your civil rights, violating your civil rights? Breaking through somebody's door? What is that? What is that? Firing 50 shots? What is that? That's violating their civil rights. You come up before them and harming them for no reason. They were both unarmed. They were both young black men going to be somebody in this world today if they allowed them to live. They killed them because they didn't want the evidence. They knew they would have spoke the truth. I just want to say this. On my way here, and every day I get a scripture. And today I got the scripture, Psalms 37:17. It says, "For the arms of the wicked shall be broken, but the Lord will uphold the righteous." Now you know what the wicked means, that they're doing wrong. Everyone who does wicked, people you come together with, will break away from you. Things that you touch will not prosper. But God will uphold the righteous. The people that do right, God would do right for them. So Mayor de Blasio, Commissioner Bratton, do right for these families. Fire the officers. Even though that's not enough justice for us to have, but they will not be able to carry a gun and a badge again. There were so many that done unlawful things. We think the officers are here to protect us. Going through training, it seems like they're training to kill us. For what? Not saying all officers are bad, but the ones that are bad should not be in their position. And if you don't like your job, don't take that job. Take something that you like doing to help the people in this community. So Mayor and the Commissioner, you need to fire them. Let some kind of justice help, but it's not enough. But justice on earth, if it's not done here, it will most definitely be done in heaven. God bless you.
Next speaker is Council Member Robert E. Cornegie Jr.
Big man.
Good afternoon. So first and foremost, on behalf of the Black, Latino, and Asian Caucus, which I'm pleased to co-chair, our condolences, prayers, and strong spirit remain with the Bell family, as well as with the Grahn family. But today I'm here to say that we have authored a letter, a strong letter, calling on justice from Bratton. We are demanding, having met with him and having been told that while a federal investigation was taking place, an internal investigation would not take place. We're demanding today that now that the federal investigation is over and much not to our liking, We demand an immediate internal investigation on these officers. So we know that while the commissioner is currently mourning the loss of his father, we have families here who've mourned the loss of their loved ones for years.
That's right.
And while we respect loss of life everywhere, there's still a strong demand for justice to happen immediately. And we know that there's a whole mechanism in place that even while the commissioner is away, that this investigation can begin immediately. And we're demanding that. The Black, Latino, and Asian Caucus represents the largest body in the New York City Council with 26 members.
That's right.
And every district has been touched. Every district under the Black, Latino, and Asian Caucus has been touched by violence and by police misconduct and by brutality. And as a unified force, I stand today with a letter and also with the backing of 26 members demanding an immediate investigation internally into this and the findings to be shared almost immediately with members of the Black, Latino, and Asian Caucus. I tell you as a body, to the families who have not gotten justice, it's not over.
It's not over.
We throw the weight of the entire caucus in this incident and incidents going forward that we can stop this. Thank you.
All right.
Our next speaker is Councilmember Vanessa Gibson, Chair of the City Council's Public Safety Committee.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Thank you so much to everyone for being here. I too want to stand collectively with all of my colleagues in the City Council, the State Assembly, obviously the family of Ramarly Grahn, Sister Connie and Brother Frank, the family of Sean Bell, Sister Valerie, and all of the advocates and family and friends who are here today. Certainly we are expressing our extreme disappointment and our absolute outrage by the recent decision by the Department of Justice to not file charges against and prosecute all of the officers involved in the death of Ramarly Grahn, not just Officer Hayes, but all of the officers. This journey for justice that has lasted for 4 long years is far too long for any family to be told to wait to get the answers that they need and the justice and the closure that they deserve. Yet somehow and some way, this family, Sister Connie and Brother Frank, have remained strong throughout the miscarriage of justice. They have remained extremely strong through a very difficult process. They have stood on these steps countless times, not only seeking a real recognition, but hope in a broken system that their son's life mattered, that the life of our Black boys and girls mattered. This death could have been prevented, ladies and gentlemen. Their life, the life of their son, was taken senselessly at the hands of a police officer that was entrusted to serve all New Yorkers. It is an absolute shame that 4 years later we stand here once again today. This major setback and the Department of Justice's failure to act means, ladies and gentlemen, that we must stand again together in calling on our police commissioner to act now, not tomorrow, but now. Give Ramarly's family the justice and the closure that they need and deserve. All of the officers need to be fired.
That's right.
Do not allow these officers to rip apart any other family. It is unacceptable. Hold them accountable for their actions. Give us hope that Ramarly's life mattered, and show this family, show other families and this city that we will not accept anything less. These families do not deserve anything less. We will continue to stand with this family and stand as long as we need to until the halls of justice recognize that Ramarly's life mattered. So I stand with this family and offer my thoughts and prayers. Continue to hold up Connie and Frank. It is not easy. They lost a child, but his life mattered, and we're going to continue to recognize his life mattered and his death was not in vain. Rise up for Ramarly, and let's continue to seek the justice that this family deserves.
I just want to be clear, the reality in this case is that this didn't need to happen. This was actually a teenager, a young Black teenager walking down the street who picked up his pants. Let's be clear, Ramarly Grahn should not have been killed. At minimum, if they thought they saw the butt of a gun, this should have been a street stop. Ramarly walked half a block, turned the corner, and walked another half block, and then walked into his home. Ramarly should not have been killed. I don't even know how many of you, when it comes to the deepness and the disrespect, like how many of you actually know that the city lost Ramarly's body for 4 days. For 4 days, the family was trying to find Ramarly's body. That is disgusting. And then to top it all off, you have Bratton, Police Commissioner Bratton, who holds the highest position in the department, lying to elected officials. Lying, saying he can't hold officers accountable because the DOJ told him not to. I was in the meeting with the DOJ. They had no idea what we were talking about, said they never said that to Bratton. There's a lot of press out here today, a lot of press, and we hope that you contact Bratton and ask him, ask him why he lied about this, why he lied to elected officials, why he lied to Ramarly Graham's family, and why he lied to New Yorkers. The next speaker we have coming up is Cynthia Howell. She's the niece of Alberta Spruill.
Hello, everybody. As we have heard today, there will be an uprising, not just because of Ramarly, because without justice, there will be no peace. This is what we are fighting for. This is what we march for. This is what we stand for. The families and I, we have all bonded because we are on one common thread. We've had somebody senselessly murdered in our family, and there's been no justice, no one held accountable. And this is what we seek. This is the ultimate in this, not only this state. Like the gentleman said, he was watching Law and Order. The families are watching cases from case to case to case to case, and every case matters, whether it's in this state or another state. We're watching them across the country. And we want justice, not just for our state, we want it across this country. Without justice, there will be no peace.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
No justice.
No peace.
The next speaker we're calling up is Juan Cartagena, President and General Counsel of Latino Justice, Puerto Rican Legal Defense and Education Fund. That's long.
Good morning. Buenos dias. On behalf of Latino Justice Pearl Death, I want to first extend my condolences and prayers to the Grahn family, the Bell family as well. And I told you that I'm drawing strength from your fortitude. I'm drawing strength from your fortitude. Ramarly Graham's death cannot be in vain. We cannot allow it to be in vain. There has to be consequences for these actions. And I want to hold accountable every governmental actor up and down the chain. We want to hold accountable, of course, the federal government for not bringing civil rights charges. But before it got into their lap, what happened to our local officials, our courts right here? What happened to our prosecutors here? What happened to all the accountability and safeguards that we must have to protect ourselves from the actions of police officers who do these kinds of actions? Each and one of them have to be held accountable. The consequences have to happen. Ramarly Graham's life cannot end this way. We cannot allow his death to be in vain. Que no sea en vano la vida de este jovencito, y que vamos a detener todo posible para asegurarnos que la policía sea juzgado y despedido. Fire these individuals, take away their badge. Let's have some consequences and not just business as usual. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Yuruha Webster from Jews for Racial and Economic Justice. Sorry if I got that.
Good morning, good morning. My name is Yehuda Webster, and I'm here representing Jews for Racial and Economic Justice as a community organizer there. Justice has not been served, and we're here to lend our voice in solidarity with Frank and Constance in demanding that Commissioner Bratton and Mayor de Blasio fire Officer Hates and all those involved in the killing of Ramarly Grahn. There's a famous commandment in Judaism. Tzedek, tzedek, tirdof. Justice, justice, you shall pursue. Why is justice repeated twice? Because so often justice isn't achieved the first time, yet we continue to pursue. And so we will continue to pursue even though justice has not been served. We, the community of New York, demand that Commissioner Bratton, Mayor de Blasio fire those officers involved in the killing of Ramarly Grahn. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Dante Barry, the Executive Director of Million Hoodies Movement for Justice.
My name is Dante Barry. I'm the Executive Director of Million Hoodies Movement for Justice, a racial justice network fighting for the dignity and safety of Black and brown young people. And I'm here to express our extreme disappointment in the announcement by the DOJ to not pursue legal action for the death of Ramarly Grahn. This is yet another episode of justice denied for our communities and a routine disregard for Black life in this city. We know that this decision goes beyond officer haste and requires greater accountability for all officers involved in the killing of Ramarly Grahn. We demand the immediate firing of Officer Haste and all NYPD officers responsible for Marley's death. This is personal for us. Many of our members, including here in New York, have been victims of police abuse or impacted by police violence in some way. So when our local and federal officials fail to hold officers accountable for killing our loved ones, we must stand up and fight back to demand justice and accountability today. Thank you.
And now, before we open this up for Q&A, I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge Council Member Adonis Rodriguez, who's also here. Also, Danette Chavis, the mother of Gregory Chavis, who's also here today. And I'd like to take a moment to thank all of the groups and Communities United for Police Reform who are here today and who have been throwing down. And that includes Picture the Homeless, Jews for Racial and Economic Justice, the Drug Policy Alliance, New York's Jesus, NYCLU, New York Civil Liberties Union, Justice Committee, Latino Justice, the Center for Popular Democracy, Vocal New York, Center for Constitutional Rights, and Brother